Hello guys, this is Mommy A and welcome to my channel. Okay, so we just have a little thing to talk about today. But I'd like to share my experience when I started taking care of my children's hair, in fact, from my very first baby, and how it has been ever since. So I gave birth to my baby with a head full of hair. Same with my second girl, and the normal myth that goes on. You have to cut your baby's hair at the age of 1. If you don't do that, then the hair is going to fall off and all of that. A lot of people try to say a lot of things. They try to scare me and all, but I had to do some research because prior to the time I wasn't really sure of how to take care of natural hair, how to do this. But I know that my hair was badly damaged by using relaxers and texturizers. That is something I didn't want to try again. I had to start researching. I went online, I googled a lot. I even had to reach out to someone on Instagram to check the stuff she was using for her child because she didn't cut her child's hair until the age of 1. In fact, at that time, I think her baby's age was still 8. She was still 8 months at the time. So I decided within me that this is what I am going to do. It doesn't matter like how long it will take me to get used to this thing or how stressful it's going to be, but at least I'll try my best. So as I said earlier, I started Googling. I started making researches, which even made me come up with my book, A More Baby Guide to a Great Hair Experience. And I have been taking care of my baby's hair ever since. And sometimes I carry my baby outside. That I'm still talking about my first girl, although my second girl too came with a lot of hair. And people will be like, what did you do to your child's hair? How come your child is this hairy? Is he a boy? Because most times I feel it's just boys that have this type of hair. And I'm like, no, it's a girl. Like, oh, okay, okay, see the earring, yeah, that's true. And we've just been maintaining the hair. That's basically what we've been doing. And we use very child-friendly hair products, which includes shea butter, coconut oil, and the rest of them, and a lot of wetting, at least wetting the hair. So this week continued. At some point, they were like, "You're going to cut her hair at the age of 1, right? Of course you have to." I said, "No, I'm not going to cut it." Now, I'm not as hairy as my children. We have same hair texture, but not the same volume. And then I remember one time I was at work and okay, I think I was somewhere, I can't really remember. And then some two ladies came into the office and came into the place where I was, and they were like, I think I went to see someone, and so it's like the person's place of work, and they're like, who's this baby? My God, so pretty. Why so beautiful? Why you're so lovely? And all. Okay, wow, look at her hair. Who's the mother of the baby? And I said, I'm the mother, and they're like, how can you say you're the mother of this child when look at what's on your head? I said, well, okay, let's all wait for the mother of the child to come. And we waited. When they got here, they left. So we just laughed about it. It was funny though. But it hit me that people still have this notion that it's impossible for a baby girl to have certain kinds of hair. But I realized that actually it's not. It's hereditary. It can be environmental factors that can be it can also be as a result of environmental factors you get, and also um that's your care for the baby's hair. You have to give it all the tender love and care, which is very, very important. You have to make sure you avoid manipulative hairstyles. This is very important because these manipulative hairstyles tend to be very, very stressful on the scalp of this child. And just because you're seeing a particular style on the internet doesn't mean you have to do that same exact style, that same style for your child. No. In fact, before I gave birth to my children, when I realized to my girl, the very first one at least, when I realized I was having a girl, I got folders on my phone. I had like 3, 4 folders of different hairstyles for different ages. each month the hairstyles I'm going to use for my girl. But I realized they're quite unnecessary. Yes, you can replicate, but not exactly. You have to understand your child's hair nature. You have to understand the texture, the volume, and everything. Because there are certain styles that you just cannot use on your baby. I go outside and I'm seeing people carrying like really tight hairstyles on their children's hair, and their children's hair are like, and I'm wondering what's going on. Who are you trying to please? The hair doesn't even have to be neat. I mean, it doesn't have to be neat. Just you just have to maybe hold at all. I even started making my baby's hair at the age of 5. I know of people who started making their children's hair at the age of 1. But in Nigeria, it's a very difficult experience. Like it's a very difficult thing because we have a lot of unsolicited advice and a lot of things. People have their own opinions. They want to talk based on what they think, based on how they feel, but they're forgetting that this is your own child and you wouldn't want to do anything that is going to be detrimental to the health of your child. So, whatever they are saying, they don't have to impose, which is why, in as much as you're hearing a lot of words from people and all that, do you. Do you so tomorrow you're regretting it's your handwork. Tomorrow you don't have to regret either. Know that it is you. You are satisfied within yourself that this is what I want and this is how I want my child to look, not because another person told me. Because people are telling you things, they're telling you things based on their experience, they're telling you things based on how they feel or what worked for them. That doesn't mean that it's the same thing that worked for you. Just like how you have two children, one thing that worked for the first child is not the same thing that worked for the second child, down to even pregnancy. Your pregnancy for your first can never be or might even be the same as the second. No two children are the same, no two upbringings are or should be the same, which means if you're because if you're trying to raise one child exactly the same way as the other one, you're putting a lot of pressure on that child because this one doesn't move that way. Let me give you an instance. I get to understand maybe through visuals, someone else gets to understand through just theory by talking and they're good to go. Now you're trying to force me to understand true theory and you're expecting that to work for me. No, you just get frustrated. But once you now bring visuals, make it playful and fun, then you see how everything is now working. So that is it. It is very, very important to understand your child for yourself and know that your children are centered to you, your way of upbringing, and all of that. So I'll just stop here for now. I will continue this next time. So if you've been able to watch to this point, please, please, please just pause, subscribe, like, share, and drop a comment. It's very important because this will help me understand what you prefer and also make me know which content to bring up for you guys. So thank you so much for watching this one. Once again, I'm Mommy A and have a nice time. Bye.